Test 1 2 3. Test 1 2 3. Test 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. It was a wild one last Saturday for Xavier, but the Knights held on. Now, they have the chance to advance to the CHSFL Finals with a win tonight, but the St. Peter's Eagles will come to Aviator and try to get in their way. It's a win or go home semifinal matchup. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to South Brooklyn. I'm Josh Welliver. The Knights avoided a potential catastrophic collapse for the ages in the 2-7 matchup of the playoffs versus Kellenberg last weekend. They were up 7 with a minute to play. Xavier fumbled the QB kneel down that they had to try and run out the clock. They held on, but it certainly wasn't easy. As for St. Peter's last round, they took care of business with a 14-0 win over St. John the Baptist, a team they also beat in the last week of the regular season. They come into this game winning 5 of their last 6 games. These two teams already met once this season. It was a 24-10 win for Xavier on Staten Island. They'll try to replicate that result tonight with a chance to go to the championship on the line in what should be an awesome night. Xavier will kick off first to Kellenberg to get us started in what should be nothing short of an energizing matchup. Packed crowd at Aviator trying to cheer their Knights on to a second straight playoff win. Don't let it fool you, though. St. Peter's traveled really well. They got a large portion of spectators over there on their sideline. Theo Sheardon, Vitale, and the kickoff crew ready to get it started for Xavier. Peters had a very, very interesting season. And Xavier, they came out with the 2 seed, so now this was originally meant to be Xavier Fordham Prep, but since those two teams play every single year in the Turkey Bowl, it is actually in the rule book that they can't play during the postseason if it's avoidable. So St. Peter's got reseeded, and here they are on the road at Aviator. Theo Sheardon Vitale has it on a tee. Back deep to receive for Kellenberg is Gabriel Mascolo. Here we go. Round 2 of the playoffs is underway with a strong kick. Fielded at the half-yard line. Good blocks. Averill shuts it down before a slip tackle gets St. Peter's to start right around the 24-yard line. Return of about 23 for Tyrone Smart. And here comes the St. Peter's offense to take the field first. They'll try and set the tone. Xavier's defense will play first. They had nothing shy of an awesome game last week. Pitch a second-half shutout, 7 points in total. Overall, they were getting to the quarterback, not letting runs. That was a big thing. They stopped the run extremely well, but doesn't matter if you can't execute tonight. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, winner goes to the finals. Loser goes home. Here we go. First down and 10 for Kellenberg. It's a handoff up the middle. Couple slip tackles. There goes Smart. Off to the races at the 50, the 40. Could he go all the way? On the game's first play is shoved out of bounds at the 15. That's a way to start it for St. Peter's. Oh my goodness, the burst of speed. It was Benjamin Terry up the left sideline. Takes it from his own 25 to the Xavier 15. Wow, what a start to this game. James Gang still hasn't gotten down there yet. Kellenberg in the red zone in one play. They mark it at the 13-yard line. Didn't even get a chance to introduce you to the Kellenberg offense that's led by junior quarterback Anthony Diacunto. In the backfield this time is Nicholas Giannieri. Diacunto takes the shotgun snap. It's a hand. Giannieri slips a tackler, gets wrestled down after a pickup of 5 maybe to the 9. Second down and medium coming up. Wow, what a start to this game. Just a giant hole for Terry and he took all of it off to the races. Got chopped down inside the red zone, but I'm still catching my breath from that one. Minute into the game, Kellenberg already in prime scoring territory. Can Xavier's defense come up big like they did all of last week? They were great in the red zone, forced a missed field goal. But Kellenberg's got all the momentum here early. Benjamin Terry back into the Eagles' backfield. Diaconto motions across lineman. It's a swing pass. There goes Terry trying to get to the outside. Slips a tackler. Gets wrestled down about a half yard shy of the line of scrimmage. I believe they're going to call this short to bring up a 3rd down and a half a yard. 10:20 to play, opening frame. Ace Jernstead came in to wrap it up at the end of the play. Hold him half a yard shy of the sticks. 3rd down and inches from the 5. Early chance for a Kellenberg score. From here, it's probably 4-down territory to try and set the tone. Diaconto's got an empty backfield. One-on-one on the far side is Victor Baez lined up with Ace Jernstead. That could be a matchup they want to target. Diaconto in the shotgun, going to take it himself. Looks like he did not get there. Right at the line of scrimmage, or at the line to gain again. Did he pick up the 1st down is the questions. Officials measure it and they say he did. 1st down, St. Peter's. And now it's 1st down and goal to go inside the 5. Boy, Anthony Diaconto was right on that line. They gave him the yardage to move the chains. And now you pick up 4 and you have the opening score of this game. It's been all the run games so far. Does that change inside the 5-yard line? Probably not. Terry, the lone setback. He's way back, heels at his own 10. Diaconto under center, gives it. Terry running right. Did he cross the pylon? Yes, he did! Touchdown, Eagles! An emphatic opening drive. They've got the opening score of this game. Benjamin Terry had the monster run to set it up, and then he gets the 4-yard score. Extra point is up, and it is perfect by Vincenzo Coppola. What a drive from Peters. That happened quick. Took him less than 3 minutes of game time to find the end zone. Xavier's got their hands full offensively for a chance to punch back, but that is a very strong start by the Eagles. Tone has shifted quickly. It was a lot of high energy on the Xavier sideline at kickoff. Now it is nothing. Could hear a pin drop on this sideline. Meanwhile, Kellenberg could not have executed better. That script went perfectly to plan. It all started with a first play run that went 70 yards to set Kellenberg up perfectly. Or 60 yards, excuse me. But nonetheless, Benjamin Terry, the sophomore, all over it. Averill and Jernstead back deep to receive for Xavier. Peter Heaney will have his first chance with the football in his hands, as will the rest of the offense. Kickoff is off as we restart play. Fielded by Jernstead off a hop. No, he's actually going to let it roll out of bounds, and that's going to warrant a flag. Nice play by Jernstead. Smart enough to know that he should not have touched that ball. He didn't. Rolls out of bounds at the 10, and Xavier is going to get good field position to start off here after the kickoff goes out of bounds. And Xavier actually decides to re-kick. So they will send the kick return back out there and make Kellenberg re-tee it. So Peters will re-kick from the 35-yard line now instead of the 45. Xavier wants to set themselves up with a chance to return this one rather than just let it go out the end zone for a touchback. They have two dangerous returners there. Kapala just drilled the extra point. He's going to have to get a lot of this one if he wants it in the end zone. Here we go. We'll try it another time. Fielded on 2 hops by Jernstedt. He runs to the near side, picks up a block. Ace Jernstedt at the 40, dances free, and is shoved out of bounds there. Kapala, the kicker, had to come to the sideline to usher him out of bounds, but not a bad return at all for the junior cornerback. Jernstedt set Xavier up nicely. Here comes Peter Heaney in the Xavier offense. First down and 10 at the 40-yard line. It was a very, very quick drive for St. Peter's. Xavier, not that type of team. Ground, pound, grit, grind, run that clock, and wear down the defensive line. But Peters has a couple big bodies up there. Headlined by number 95, or rather 85, Daniel Mills. 6'2", 195, the senior. Lines up on that right end. Xavier stacks it to the near side on first down and 10. Heaney's in the shotgun. He'll take it, run right, pick up a block at the 40, picks up maybe 2. Gang of Kellenberg defenders in on that one. Heaney kept it grinding. But all said and done, Kellenberg will take that on first down for sure. It'll bring up second down and 7 from the 43 now. Got hit right at the line of scrimmage, but turning into positive yardage, picks up 3. 8.5 to play opening quarter. Again, only took 3 minutes for St. Peter's to get all the way down the field. Now let's see if the Eagles defense can step up. McLaughlin, this team's best running back, in the backfield next to Heaney. Direct snap goes to Heaney. Motion across Bruno. Heaney gets maybe 3 to the 48. More like 4 or 5. Third down and 2 coming up. Big chance for the Eagles to get off the field. Xavier almost feels like they have to get this drive and keep it alive, keep it moving, because their defense just got off the field. And they got that positive field position. Don't want to give that away immediately. Third down and 2. Everybody on the St. Peter's sideline standing, trying to urge their defense onto a stop. Snap from the 48. The first down yardage is right at midfield. They load it up on the far side. Jump shift right to left, and a flag comes out. St. Peter's is going to give Xavier a first down. It was an encroachment. They came across on the jump shift right to left, and Xavier gets bailed out. It's a first down Knights. Their first down of the game comes via penalty, and that is something they like to do a lot, does Xavier offensively. That'll move the sticks and get the crowd going a little bit. Peters had a chance to get off the field. Instead, they keep this Xavier drive alive and maybe give them a little bit of that momentum aspect back. But again, if St. Peter's is going to fall for that on the first time, they're going to have to figure out how to get disciplined later. Heaney first down and 10 at the 47-yard line. Motion across Bruno. It's a direct snap to McLaughlin. McLaughlin with room, and he runs over a defender. Pickup of 8. Oh, my goodness. He sent Vincent D'Amato to the turf. Strong run, Riley McLaughlin. Sets up second down and short. Good chance for Xavier to try an explosive play if they want one. They executed a couple big passing plays at the end of the first half last week against the Kellenberg Firebirds. This week against St. Peter's, let's see if they come out with that same explosivity. That was their first scoring play of the game to that point. Before it was 2 3-and-outs prior to that. In that first quarter, it's a run. Heaney going left. Looks like he has first down yardage. It's close. Forward progress is going to give him the 38-yard line. Still no signal from the officials yet. Now they say first down. It was Elijah Stewart, excuse me. First down, Knights there, re-energized after the penalty. Well into Kellenberg territory now, and you wouldn't think the 35-yard line is borderline field goal range, but Theo Sheeran Vital was drilling from here in warm-ups. Got a chance to look at him. It was looking pretty good from this kind of range, which is rare to see. McLaughlin up the middle to the right. Not going to get much, maybe two. Kellenberg all over it. Tackle made by Colin Snell, the junior linebacker, but others were in there on the tackle. Stewart and Lamberg will come off the field here. Schechner into the game now. So is Caridi. Second down and 8. It's a run. Going to the left. Having blockers is Bruno. There he goes inside the 20. Burst of speed. Nice blocks by the boys up front. Tyler Bruno, very well done. First down and more. It was an end around right to left. He found that hole and shot at it. Very, very speedy senior running back from Brooklyn. Looking for one word this season, champion. Runs like that are going to get you awfully closer. Under 5 to play, opening frame. Xavier now inside the red zone. Can they match Kellenberg's opening possession touchdown? Heaney up the middle. He has a hole to pick up 5, maybe 6. Down inside the 15, spotted around the 13. Buono and Schechner to come to the sidelines. Heaney was dealing with an illness last week. Still scored both of Xavier's touchdowns. Still led the Knights to the win. Can he come back? Hopefully feeling a little bit better. And try and lead Xavier to another win. Second down and medium. Heaney running left. Picks up blockers right near the 10-yard line. Going to be stopped about 2 shy of the sticks. Third down and 2. Should be interesting to see how the coaching staff for Xavier plays this. Chance they go for it on 4th. They also hope they don't have to get there. Dom Cognata, the big tackle, comes out of the game for a play. First chance for St. Peter's to prove their worth in the red zone on a third down and 2. Big, big play on the opening possession for the Knights. They loaded on the far side. Buono got faked the give. It was McLaughlin up the middle. He's right near the marker. Forward progress has him really close. And they're going to say fourth down. He's going to be stopped about a half yard short. McLaughlin didn't get there. It's marked at about the 8 1/4. They need about the 7 1/2. Oh, this is close. Xavier keeps the offense out there. They're going to go for it, trying to make a statement on the opening drive. Can they pick up 1 yard? Jump shift right to left. Kellenberg jumped. Flag comes out. Second time this drive. Or excuse me, St. Peter's jumped. Encroachment on the Eagles. First down, Xavier. They didn't need to snap it, but they got Peters to jump. It happened once earlier this drive on a third down, gave Xavier a first down. The Eagles jump again. That penalty runs them half the distance till the goal snapped inside the 5 at the 4. Xavier in prime position to punch this thing in and tie the game. Heaney has it. It's a run all the way to the left. Does not look like he got there. Second effort, he's close, but now he's in. Refs with a late signal, but it's a touchdown for Peter Heaney. last week, won this week. Peter Heaney, the scorer. And an extra point away from tying this game up. Little flex towards that Knights sideline. Sheridan Vitale on for the opportunity to knot this thing up. That was very, very well done by the Knights. And the misdirection of the jump shifts gets Peters twice, and they are able to cash in. Unit is no good. Sheridan Vitale pushed it left, and Kellenberg keeps the lead their way. Sheridan Vitale just wobbled it over to the left, so Xavier trails by 1. They don't get the extra point. And Peters has a 7-6 lead, so let's see if that comes back to haunt Xavier. One that could very, very well be a big momentum swinger down the stretch. Likely thinking it forces Xavier to go for 2 next time they find the end zone, but that complicates things a little bit. Overall, as an offensive unit, though, absolutely nothing to critique. Both sides of the ball, or excuse me, both offenses for each team. The offensive line moved extremely well on each of their opening possessions. The running backs certainly punished defenses. And by the first 10 minutes of this game, this one could just be a shootout. Unlike what Xavier had last week, where it was a 14-7 final, and it all came down to the last play of the game where their defense won them the game with a Seb Myers breakup of a pass. Now, this one is primed to go the other way. Sheridan Vitale has it on a tee, fielded at the 5-yard line by Terry. He'll run it back to the left, change directions. Terry picks up a couple blocks at the 25-30, shrugs off a defender. Terry down the sideline near midfield. Electric return. Benjamin Terry running all over this Knights defense and special teams. Set St. Peter's up really, really well on their second offensive possession of the night. He was forced out of bounds at the 45 is where they'll spot it. Diaconto and the rest of the Peters offense back out onto the field for their second drive. It was all rushes last time, and it worked to perfection. Took them less than 3 minutes. Let's see what they got in store this time. Diaconto under center. It's a give to Terry, but he got originally stopped behind the backfield, then turns into positive yardage. Nice play by Benjamin Terry, the sophomore. Hit right at the line of scrimmage, ran into a wall of Xavier defenders, ends up turning it into a gain of 3. Rob Malachi, the senior linebacker and captain of the defense, eventually brought him down to hold him there. Second down and 7. This Xavier defense going to have to figure out how to stop the run better than they did on the opening possession for St. Peter's. This time they spread it out, 4 receivers, and Terry in the backfield. One-on-one near side is Josiah Jones. Now he motions Terry out of the backfield. Diaconto back to pass all day, loads up down the middle, incomplete. He was looking for Victor Baez over the middle of the field, could not get it to him. Elijah Stewart was in coverage, but boy, Baez had a half step. Diaconto just overthrew him. 3rd down and 7. Big chance for Xavier to get off the field. Diaconto, that's one he's going to want to have back. Chance to make up for it on a vital 3rd down. Can Xavier's defense turn it over? Or can they Or can St. Peter's pick up the stop? 3rd down and 7. The Eagles looking for the 45-yard line. Malachi comes and shows 5 at the line. Xavier brings 5. All-out blitz. Diacono has to get it out. He hits Terry. Can he make a man miss? Oh, nice stiff arm. But then he gets forced out of bounds at the 55, shy of the marker. And St. Peter's is going to have to punt. Nice job, Diaconto, just to be able to get it out to Terry, who made one miss but could not do it again. Capola to punt. And Jornstead back deep to receive for Xavier, as well as Brian Caulfield, the corner. With 20 seconds left to play in the quarter. Capola gets it away off the front of his foot. That's going to take a Xavier bounce. Caulfield lets it go, but that thing rolls St. Peter's way inside the 15-yard line. Xavier's defense did their job. Now it's time to see if their offense can replicate that opening drive. There is 4 seconds left in the quarter. As Peter Heaney leads the Knights offense back out onto the field. Very, very strong possession for the defensive unit. After a great return by Terry, they shut it down, force a 3-and-out for St. Peter's. Now let's see what the offense can do. 1st down and 10 at their own 16-yard line. Heaney in the shotgun, but whistles blow before the snap. And that's going to be a false start against Xavier. They moved early, so back them up 5, make it 1st down and 15 with 1 second remaining in the quarter. So that brings Xavier back inside their own 11-yard line. Now it's just a matter of these first couple plays to at least get 1 first down at the bare minimum. Get a little more breathing room for that punt unit. Even if you can't turn this possession into points. Heaney in the shotgun, going to take it himself up the middle, runs into a wall. Big number 95 for Peters got the stop right there alongside him. Number 52 for the Eagles. That is Michael Riccati. Senior defensive end, 6'2", 215. Makes the stop after a gain of 3. And that will do it for the first quarter. Both teams get a touchdown, but Xavier can't hit their extra point. It is 6-7 after 1 quarter of play. Second down and 12 for Xavier to open this second quarter. Welcome back to Aviator. An eventful first quarter, to say the least. Let's see if Xavier can continue their offensive momentum from their only drive on the opening frame. Jump shift right to left. They got St. Peter's to bite twice there on the opening possession. That time the Eagles stay disciplined. They do it again, and they don't. 3rd flag for encroachment. Going to move Xavier up 5 and retake the 5 they lost on the false start. Boy, Kallenberg has to figure that out. That is something the Knights will continue to kill them with if they don't. And no one's going to be more mad than the St. Peter's coaching staff. Makes it second and much more manageable. Second down and 6 of the 19-yard line. Heaney runs left, gets blockers. Heaney, nice hole near the sticks, has enough. First down, Xavier. Nice run, Peter Heaney. And good blocks, kept the legs driving. And that's going to be a first down up to the 21-yard line. First down and 10, Knights at their own 26-yard line. St. Peter stacks the front. It's a hand. Bruno running near side. Tyler Bruno's got a crease. He's at the 40. Trying to beat his man on the outside. Stiff arms and is run out of bounds. Other side of midfield. Up to the 47-yard line. Misdirection works again. First down, Knights. Crown loves it. Chains moved big time into Peter's territory. Tyler Bruno, woo! Shot out of a cannon again. Running with a vengeance. Other side of midfield. Bruno's second huge play of the day. Now Xavier's got the energy on their side. Kellenberg shows 6 right up at the line. Heaney runs right. Not going to go anywhere this time, though. Or excuse me, it was Elijah Stewart. Got brought down late. Xavier sideline wanted a face mask. They're not going to get it. Stewart lost 3 on the play. All over that play for St. Peter's was Aiden Almonte, the nose guard who comes off. Minute and a quarter gone by here in the second frame. Pushes Xavier back to their own side of the 50-yard line. They loaded up on the near side with Averill. This time McLaughlin's back in the backfield with Heaney, the quarterback. It's a give. Averill running left. He got nowhere. Stood up by the St. Peter's defense. Forward progress is going to finish him off at the 50-yard line. Third down and 11. Looked like Tyrone Smart led the charge defensively for St. Peter's defenders. Third down and 13, they're going to call it. Can Xavier keep the drive alive with a big-time play? Should be interesting to see if DeFalco is willing to load it up and go for the pass here, or if he wants to stay true to his game, stick with the run. They need the St. Peter's 38-yard line. Heaney back to pass, rolls right. He's looking to throw, flips it. It's caught by Schechner at the 40. He's right at the marker. Looks like a yard short. Flag comes down. 2 of them now. Nice catch, Mike Schechner. Hold it in by the tip of the fingers. Stayed in bounds. But now there's going to be a flag down for an ineligible receiver downfield. Xavier's going to back it up 5 more. The offensive line got out there a little bit too quickly. Takes third down and 13 back to third down and 18 now. Xavier thought they had the conversion, but a silly mistake up front backs him up 5. And that shifts the vibes here at Aviator. Now it seems St. Peter's is primed to get a stop now. Knights were willing to roll the dice in the passing game, something that they don't often go to. They did it, executed, but the flag penalizes them back to their own 39. Let's see if they are willing to do it again or they just want to run it. Heaney fakes the give to Bruno, back to pass, flips it for Averill. He's got it! Same spot, did he keep the feet in bounds? Yes, sir, he did! Liam Averill, nice catch, had the same thing last week. right by the sticks, right at the 38. I think they're going to give it to him. First down, Knights. Crowd loves it. First down, Xavier, pickup of 18. Big time third down conversion. Right where Schechner got forced out of bounds. They thought they had it there. Averill makes up for it. Haney going to run it off the block of McLaughlin, but he gets buried. 2 on the stop for Kellenberg. Looked like it was Justin Wu as well as Daniel Mills collaborating on the tackle. Pickup of 1. So the pass has worked. The run was established on the opening drive. Can Xavier put it together and create a very, very dangerous defense that St. Peter's is going to have to figure out how to stop? And misdirection has worked to Buono twice. They've also gotten the jump shift 3 times. Probably feeling good if you're Xavier right here. Second down and 9. Motion across Buono. It's Heaney on the delayed run on the draw. Dives forward to the 30. Going to be too shy of the sticks. But you'll take that all day. Puts the helmet down and cabooses forward for a gain of 6. 3rd and 2. You're probably looking at 4-down territory with this run-heavy Knights offense. Approaching the 8-minute mark here in the second quarter. Snap from the 30-yard line on the nose. They loaded on the near side, right hash. It's a game. McLaughlin up the middle. He's got space. He's got a Xavier first down up to the 25-yard line. They needed 2. They picked up 5. First down, Riley McLaughlin. Knights punishing St. Peter's front. They have chewed up clock on this drive. This is the drive that started way at the beginning of the second quarter. Approaching 5 minutes gone by on this one alone. They also had a very deep drive on the first quarter as well. Jump shift right to left. One of the rare times the Eagles are willing to stay disciplined on that front. Heaney fakes the give, drags tacklers down to the 20. Nice run to pick up 6. Good blocks on the right side of that line. Peter Heaney able to keep those legs churning. Officially a gain of 5 to the 23-yard line. 6:40 to play. Averill back into the game, so is Buono. They join each other on the right side of that line. Peters has continued to stack the box. That's basically all Xavier's done thus far. As there's an end around give to Buono. He tries to make a defender miss, but can't. Tackled a yard behind the line of scrimmage. Chase Navarro came up like a bullet train. Hit him hard, knocked him off his feet. 3rd down and 7. I was saying Xavier was mainly trying runs up the middle to this point. Kellenberg's had trouble stopping it, but when you're able to sell out to that, you got to be able to close those gaps, A through C. If you want a chance at playing with Xavier, that's what their brand of football is built on. 3rd down and 7 after the loss of a yard. Heaney gives to Buono again, running right side, makes 2 miss, but is tackled at the 22-yard line. It's a pickup of 2. He's still 6 yards shy of the sticks, but a late hit on St. Peter's is going to move the chains. Mike Schechner pops up. He may have dived a little bit, added some embellishment, but he certainly got hit late, and that's going to be enough for a Xavier first down on the dead ball personal foul. Well, now they say it's on both teams, Xavier and St. Peter's. So that means the ball's going to stay right where it is. You thought Xavier had the first down. They do not. It stays at the 26-yard line. As Schechner, I believe, also got whistled for a personal foul. So it would have been 15 tacked onto the run. Instead, it's 4th down and 6. Whistle blows. Timeout Xavier, though, before this crucial 4th down. We'll take a break. Step aside. You're listening to Xavier High School football in the playoffs, streaming live to you on the YouTube channel. Welcome back to Aviator. We appreciate you spending part of your Saturday evening with us to watch some high school playoff football, CHSAA AA playoff semifinals. Winner goes to the finals. Crucial 4th down and 6. Xavier jump shift, right to left, flag comes down. I don't believe it. Kellenberg continues to bite. The coaching staff is up in arms on the sideline. I'm not sure it's enough to move the chains. It's right there. 5 yards. It looked like it was 4th and 5.5. So the 5-yard penalty is going to stop him a quarter of a yard short. Xavier could run the old Eagles tush push and move this. Now they're going to say 1st down. Referees signaled they didn't need the measurement. I thought they might go to it. They do not. 1st down, Xavier. Right there. That's the 4th or 5th time St. Peter's has come across the line on the jump shift. Oh my goodness, giving Xavier as many second lives as they can ask for. Now they're set up in the red zone. 1st down and 10 at the 18. Chance to take the lead with 5:12 remaining in the second quarter. Heaney runs right, picks up blocks. Heaney, there he goes. Down inside the 15-yard line. Pick up a 6. Nice run, nice blocks to the right side. That has worked all night long for the Knights. A chilly day at Aviator favors Xavier for their patented single wing offense. And that's what they will emphasize to you. They had an advantage, they'll tell you, in the Turkey Bowl last year when it was rainy and windy all day. This time, they have an advantage as well, as that's some more 1st down yardage this time. It was Riley McLaughlin with the run. Enough to move the chains for the Knights. Goal to go inside the 5-yard line. But if St. Peter's wants to be able to throw this football effectively, they're going to have trouble doing so. The conditions, the elements at Aviator favor Xavier. 1st down and goal at the 5. Heaney's already scored the touchdown. He's got McLaughlin to his right. Xavier loads it up to the right. Bruno comes in motion. Heaney going to take it himself. Met by a gang of yellow defenders, but he snaked through to pick up 2, maybe 3. Spotted at the 2-yard line. Looked like Heaney would have been fine with getting back to the line of scrimmage. Instead, he turns it into positive yardage. 2nd down and goal at the 1.5-yard line. You have to imagine that it's just 3 more runs up the middle. Anything it takes to get in the end zone. Clock continues to wind at 3 minutes and 23 seconds now remaining in the second quarter. Xavier trying to chew up time, not leave Peters with too much to try and start their own offensive possession. 2nd and goal. Heaney runs left. He is in! Touchdown Knights! is 4th in 2 games. Peter Heaney can't be stopped. Touchdown, Xavier. The offense has 2 possessions and 2 scores. They're on a roll. The Knights take a 12-7 lead. Offense is going to stay out there and go for 2. They missed the extra point last time, trying to make up for that and make it a 7-point lead. They'll have to convert it from the 4-yard line on the 2-point conversion. Heaney and McLaughlin again, the classic. It's Heaney running right. He is in for 2, and the octopus. 8 straight for Heaney. Xavier back in front. It's 14-7. In a winner-go-home game, the senior captain who couldn't play in the Turkey Bowl last year, injured his leg, comes back stronger than ever. Peter Heaney, 2 in a row. He had the 2 touchdowns last week, the 2 this week. And a dominant drive again for the Xavier Knights, aided by a couple key penalties for St. Peter's. A lot of screaming, a lot of high fives on this Knights sideline. They're pumped up. Three minutes and 7 seconds left for St. Peter's to try to turn the tide back in their favor and pick up points before the half ends. Remember, Xavier will receive the second half kickoff, so if they can get a stop here, a possible 2-for-1 opportunity bridging the halves together. But I cannot stress it enough. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns, eat up 9 full minutes of that second quarter. That is the staple Xavier way, and it's been that way for decades at this point. Past the legacy of Hall of Fame inductee Chris Stevens last May and into the Dom DeFalco era. Fielded at the 5-yard line by the all-dangerous return man for St. Peter's. That is Terry, but he is stopped shy of the 30. Xavier's defense did their job last time, forced a 3-and-out, set up the offense well. They come back onto the field with the lead for the first time in this game. Key to watch on this drive will be Rob Malachi, the linebacker do-it-all man who leads this defense, because certainly expect St. Peter's to mix the run and the pass here with 2:59 to play in the second, so he's got to be ready for all levels. The single setback on 1st down and 10 is Terry. It's a give to him up the middle. Terry runs strong, but the aforementioned Malachi spins him down after a gain of 4. Up to the 31-yard line, 2nd down and 6, Kellenberg. Clock ticks at 2:40 and counting. Knights trying to stuff the Eagles in their tracks. Caulfield's got a one-on-one on the near side with Capola, the receiver. But timeout St. Peter's with 2 minutes, 22 seconds to play. Their first of the half. We'll take a quick break. Come right back. You're listening to Playoff Xavier Knights football, streaming to you live on the YouTube channel. Welcome back to South Brooklyn. St. Peter's trying to cash in and pick up points right here before the half in the semifinals matchup. They have 2nd down and 6 from their 31-yard line after spending their first time out. Diaconto drops back to pass. All day, floats it down the middle. It is incomplete. Caulfield was in coverage. He was hand fighting for 20 yards with the wide receiver and kicker, Vincenzo Coppola. 3rd down and 6. Expect this place to get loud. Good defense by Caulfield. Diaconto recognized the one-on-one near side. Tried to go deep. Couldn't get it. 2:15 to play. Xavier still has 2 timeouts. They're trying to get a stop, get the football back, and add to the lead before half. Can St. Peter's keep their drive alive? They motion across. Smart. Diaconto take the pass. It's a run to Terry. Going right, but he got nowhere. Knights are all over it. Brady Metzger said no thank you. Timeout, Xavier. They freeze it with 2:05 to play in the quarter. Defense gets their 2nd straight step in a row and gives Heaney and the offense the ball back with 2 minutes to play. 2nd time out of the half. Can't ask for your defense to do it any better. Very, very well done. Benjamin Terry ran all over the Knights on their opening possession, but 2 straight times he has been shut down and denied. 5 Knights in on that tackle. The whole neighborhood showed up for that one. So after this timeout, Kellenberg to punt. Capula to punt for St. Peter's. It is Caulfield and Jernstead back deep to receive. A lot of hang time. Xavier told to back away from it. Bounces at the 43-yard line and checks up at the 39, which is where Xavier's offense will have another chance to get points. 1 timeout, 1:54. The 2-minute drill was executed extremely well in the first playoff game against Kellenberg last week for Xavier. This week against St. Peter's, let's see if they can do the same. It was their first points of the week last week. But the passing worked. Everything went well for a team that doesn't really practice the 2-minute drill and doesn't really pass that much. It worked out extremely well, all things considered. Ball snapped from their own 39-yard line. Heaney gonna take it himself, going right, picks up a couple blocks, shakes free. Peter Heaney at the 50, into St. Peter's territory at the 43, plus a stare down. Shoved out of bounds, but not before he slipped free of 2 tacklers. First down, Knights. .141 to play in the half. The clock is running. The officials are going to say that he did not get out of bounds. Dom DeFalco can't believe it, but the clock is running. The officials say that Heaney got held up in bounds and I guess was going backwards when he stepped out would have to be the explanation. It's a give to Buono running right. He gets a block. Buono's for sure out of bounds this time. Picks up 6. Right around the 36-yard line with 1:14 to play in the half now. Buono picks up 7. 2nd down and short now. 1:14 Xavier, 1 timeout remaining. How do they plan to play this? For a field goal, go big for a touchdown? They also, remember, received to begin the second, so Opportunity for a 2-for-1. Heaney running right. He picks up a block from McLaughlin inside the 25-yard line. Peter Heaney well into Peter's territory on this drive, doing it himself. 1:08 remaining. The clock winds now. After the sticks got moved, it'll be snapped from the 25-yard line. Under a minute to play. Can Xavier punch it in? Heaney with McLaughlin next to him. Heaney runs right, picks up a couple to the 20, halfway there to the 5, and Coach DeFalco calls his final timeout of the half to freeze the clock at 46 seconds. Timeout number 3 used. 14-7 is your score. But Xavier has scored on both offensive possessions. Can they punch it in for a third straight time is the question. They've looked really good on offense. But again, Sheridan Vital probably has the range from here if they need him to. They're looking to get in the end zone. 46 seconds, though, no timeouts. You had to start to work the boundary, start to get out of bounds on some of these runs, or you're talking about clocking it constantly. It's 2nd down and 5 when we come back from the timeout at the 20. And then once it gets inside 30 seconds and you have no timeouts, you consider going to the end zone through the air. So a lot of decisions to be made. Xavier, nonetheless, just trying to make this a double-digit lead before the break. Heaney's in the shotgun, heels at his own 29-yard line. He'll give to Buono, running right, trying to shake free, gets to the outside. Buono escapes out of bounds. Clock freezes, but a half yard shy of the marker. It's going to be 3rd down and very short, probably 1, at the 16-yard line. 39 seconds to play in the half. Tyler Buono has continued to thrive off that play, where he just snakes around from the left side of the line, gets the handoff, and takes it himself. So he picked up 4 on that one. 3rd down and 1. Can St. Peter's limit the damage right before the half? Their sidelines make a little noise. Jump shift left to right. St. Peter's able to stay disciplined. Heaney runs left, gets a block. Peter Heaney inside the 10 is going to be tackled in bounds right around the 8-yard line, I believe. It's a 1st down. Clock winds with 31 seconds left. The clock, yeah, there we go, should be winding now that the sticks are moved again. 1st down and goal to go at the 9. Heaney's going to get up there and spike it, and he does. Flag comes in now. Maybe movement early. And it's going to be a full start, so Xavier does not get the spike play off. And they lose 5 yards back to their own 14 with 21 seconds to play. Now what do you do? Now do you consider throwing it? Clock is going to wind after the full start because the snap doesn't count. Xavier has to get up there and spike it again. They weren't ready to. Valuable seconds ticking off. 10 seconds to play now. Do you even wonder if they get the field goal unit on? Heaney, back to pass, floats it for the end zone. He's got Schechner, tackled in bounds. 3 seconds, 2. And that is going to do it for the half. St. Peter's holds strong defensively. They do not let Xavier get any points on the board before the half. And a wild last possession ends up in nothing for the Knights. 14-7 at the break. Xavier takes a touchdown lead in, but the Eagles got to be happy that they limited it to just that. 14-7 at halftime. 2 quarters down, 2 to go in the winner-take-all playoff game. You're listening to Xavier Football, streaming live on the YouTube channel. Welcome back to Aviator, where the halftime score between the St. Peter's Eagles and Xavier Knights is 14-7 in favor of the home team. One half is down, one half is to come. 2 quarters to decide a season is a tough way to look at it, if you're either squad. But man, this is the moments that you live for if you're one of these players. Xavier will receive the second half kick as Kellenberg got it to open up the game. So this third quarter is getting ready to start in a matter of moments. It was Peter Keeney with both Xavier touchdowns in the opening half. Same thing that he did last week. Scoring the Knights only 14 points, and then even got the 2-point conversion that made it a 14-7 game after a missed extra point on the Knights' opening touchdown. Averill and Jernstedt back deep to receive for Xavier. Coppola has it teed up. Getting set to begin this third quarter. Here we go. Second half's underway. It is gone on a bounce. Is this a fumble? Is this ball free? Did Jernstedt hit it? St. Peter's thinks they have it. Pointing, no signal from the refs. Trying to scoop it up from the bottom of the pile. And Xavier retains. Ooh, crisis averted. Ace Jernstedt had it bounce off of his leg. And it was anybody's football at the bottom of the pile. Xavier able to recover at the end. And they'll take over first down and 10. A scare to open up the half. Peters almost set themselves up in plus field position to begin the half and getting possession of the football. Instead, the Knights will get it back. Let's see if their offense can continue the dominance they had in the first half. They scored on every possession except for the final one where the clock ran out to end the half. It's a run to Heaney up the left side. He shakes a couple tacklers. Pickup of 8 on first down. And that drive stalled out. Xavier got a false start penalty on the spike. Then didn't spike it once the clock began to wind again. Tried to go for Mike Schechner. He caught it 5 yards shy of the end zone. Tackled in bounds, and the clock bled out. So that was the eventful half that kept the score at bay for St. Peter's, 14-7. Now Xavier a chance to take the lead once more. First down and 10 from the 38, or second and 2, excuse me. Heaney runs right. He's got first down yardage on a pickup of 3 as he dives up ahead to the 42-yard line. Good run, the heart and soul of this Xavier team. Taking matters into his own hands for this 2-seed Xavier team. A captain, a leader off the field as much as he is a great player on the field. One of the many seniors that the Knights will miss once this season wraps up. Trying to lead his team to their second straight playoff win, advance them to the AA finals. That's the prize that you're looking at. It is a run kept by McLaughlin to the 48-yard line. Pickup of 4. Second down and 6. McLaughlin, another guy that's going off to college after this, a rugby player. Told me he loves striving towards the same goal with a motivated group. That's why he wants to play football. And he certainly does that every time the ball is in his hands. They load it up to the near side. Heaney fakes the give. It's a run himself. Oh, nice job plowing forward for first down yardage. He shook the tackle of Tyrone Smart to pick up an extra 3. All in all, gain of 7. First down to the 46 of St. Peter's. Another first down now. Heaney comes off the field, asking for a bottle of water. Gianni Judy, the all-star offensive lineman, comes off with the athletic training staff. So he'll get checked out. In the meantime, Schechner and Stewart into the game for Xavier. And McLaughlin as well in the backfield. First down and 10, no Heaney. Saw this for a couple of snaps last week. Let's see if Peters' defense can cash in. First down and 10 at the 46. It's a run to Stewart. Going left. Has a couple blocks. Elijah Stewart. Nice run. Inside the 40 to the 38. Pickup of 8. Nice job. Couple offensive line changes again. Schechner back into the game. I believe he just said he is available to come in on the next snap. For now, he's not. 3 minutes into this third quarter. Second down and 2. McLaughlin and Stewart again in the backfield. Strong side to the left at the 38-yard line. Stewart again, same play call, same result. Stewart drives forward for the first down. Well done by Elijah Stewart on back-to-back plays. And now, after the first down, Peter Heaney back into the game. First and 10 at the 33-yard line. Xavier on the attack again. 2 touchdowns on their first 2 drives. Nothing on the third, although they probably could have got a field goal out of it. Went risky and couldn't manage the time as well as they thought. Heaney, run to the left, follows his blocks, but then gets dragged down. Nice tackle by Colin Snell, the junior linebacker, coming up behind him and dragging him down. Only a pickup of 2. Peters' defense has to play as they did on that last drive. Stiffen up when it matters most if they want a chance to continue to stay in the game. Look, the Eagles have some talented guys up front, but where they really set themselves apart was the penalties in that first half. They must have encroached 4 times on the jump shift. I believe 3 of them went for first downs. So that was a massive problem. It's a handoff to Buono. Running left, shakes a tackler, and then he gets hammered out of bounds. Picks up another 3 to the 30. But it's going to be 3rd down and 7. It's a long way to go for Xavier, and a real solid chance for the Eagles to get off the field. Five minutes spans this opening possession. Xavier trying to keep it alive. Eagles trying to get the stop, get off the field. Can they do it? It would be an emphatic statement to open up this second half. Give a little bit of energy back into their offense to try and tie things up. Xavier will try and extend their lead. Try and pick up a first down. Snap from the 30. Jump shift left to right. That's something I'm sure St. Peter's discussed at halftime. They stay disciplined. It happens again. This time, it is a flag. Peters lobbying. It was a false start on Xavier. The coaches are screaming around, but it's called an offsides on St. Peter's. It's not enough for a first down, but it sure is close. 3rd and 7 goes to 3rd down and 2. Huge penalty. The St. Peter's sideline just cannot believe it. From the 26, Xavier looking to get up to the 24. It's a pretty long 2, though. McLaughlin in the backfield, direct snap to him. He's running left. He has first down yardage. Riley McLaughlin, the powerful run. Little late to get up. He's hobbling, favoring that right knee. And now he's going to have to come up the field. He looks a little bit hurt. Hopping all the way off on that right knee as soon as he shot up. He is a very, very, very tough guy. 5'10", 200. He is not a guy that goes down easily. So that's saying something that he's hurt. He'll come out of the game for Stewart. on a first down and 10 at the 22-yard line. Knights trying to get it back into the red zone. Loaded up on the far side. Handoff, Buono. No, excuse me, it goes to Stewart up the middle. Pickup of 8, maybe 9 actually. Inside the 15 to the 14. Nice job, Elijah Stewart. He's been solid on this drive. Filling in for an injured Heaney, now an injured McLaughlin. Certainly has done his job as the backup. Second down and 2, 5:16 now to play in this third quarter. Knights have had possession the entire time. This is what they do. When they have the lead, they're dangerous in terms of milking that clock out and not giving you many more chances to score. So if you're St. Peter's, you got to try and get a stop, got to try and value every offensive possession you've got. Second down and short. It's Heaney to keep it himself, running left. Heaney has the first down at the 10. First down and goal to go. We're on the 9-yard line now. Knights crowd energized by that first down. It is a packed section at Aviator. A lot of people showing up to this very, very important matchup. First and goal. Can Xavier get their third touchdown of the day? Will it be Heaney again? Stewart remains in there as McLaughlin tries to get set on that sideline, having trouble with the left knee. It's Stewart on the direct snap, running left, picks up 4 down to the 6. Hard tackling brings us inside the 4-minute mark. Stewart continues to battle hard in this half. Now it's second down and 5. Can they get it in the end zone? Schechner and Buono line up deep on that right side. Jump shift right to left. St. Peter stays disciplined. Snap goes to Heaney, gonna take it himself up the middle, but gets planted at the 4. Does not have the mustard to swivel through that strong defensive line of St. Peter's. Third down and 4. Chance to get off the field or possibly bring up fourth down. Depends how risky you're willing to play it for Xavier. And imagine any sort of positive yardage on this play means you're going for it on fourth down. Can they punch it into the end zone? Can the Eagles get the stop they've been longing for? Under 3 to play. Biggest snap of the game so far. Heaney goes right. Does he have it? He's short. Now he's in. Touchdown, Xavier. Tic-tac-toe. 3 in a row for Peter Heaney. He is dominating. Perfectly executed. It takes him 9.5 to go the length of the field. All run, no pass. Another stapled Xavier drive. Offense stays out there to go for 2. Remember, Sheardon Vitale already missed 1 kick in this game. That may play into the decision to try and go for 2. Can they stretch the lead up to 16? Heaney goes left. He's going to do it again. What can't he do? 2-point conversion. His second octopus of the game. He's got all 22 for the Knights. Impressive. Xavier extends the lead. And all of a sudden, the energy is on this sideline with 2:50 to play in the third quarter. Knights feeling great. So are the fans. It's a 2-possession lead at Aviator. And the 15-point lead. An emphatic one for this Xavier defense that held Kellenberg to 7 last week, has held St. Peter's to 7 so far this week. And a 15-point lead approaching the fourth quarter is a perfect spot for the Knights to be. Dangerous return. Remember, we already saw a huge one from Benjamin Terry. He had one on the ground, one in the return game. Let's see if he can work his magic, try and get Kellenberg St. Peter's some good starting field position to open this half. Sheridan Vital on to boot it away for the Eagles' first offensive possession of the third. Fielded by Terry in his own end zone. Terry runs it out. He's got blockers at the 30. Makes a man miss. He's at the 40. Cuts it back upfield. Shaking tacklers. How is he still on his feet? Up to the 47-yard line. As elusive as Flash. Benjamin Terry, another monster return. Sets St. Peter's up well. First down and 10, St. Peter's. They'll snap it from their own 47. First chance for Dion Couto to try and get his Eagles on the board in the second half. He's got 3 receivers to the near side. Motions one across. Diacunto takes the snap, drops back to pass, has perfect protection, rips it over to the left side, incomplete. Almost picked up by Ace Jernstead. He jumped the route looking for Josiah Jones. Big on big, Jernstead on Jones. A 6'1", 175 defender versus a 6'4", 175 receiver. Advantage Jernstead. Incomplete pass, second down and 10. Knights sideline making some noise. They can feel the energy. Diacunto motions 5 receivers out, or rather 4 out. A tight end on the near line of scrimmage. Motion across Terry. Diacunto back to pass. Gonna go. Incomplete. Way overthrew his intended receiver Jones the second time. Little bit of miscommunication. They were on different pages. Hell's Bells rings for the first time in the second half. Can Xavier get off the field with a big stop? Third down and 10 after 2 incompletions at their own 47-yard line. Knights Nation making a whole lot of noise. Xavier shows 4 up front. Diacunto motions across Coppola, the kicker. He's back to pass. Good pocket. Now he's in trouble. Flushed out. Diacunto deciding what to do. Going to take off and run. He got free of Malachi. He's right at the sticks. He's going to be a half-yard shy. And now are they going to move the chains, man? He is right there. And yes, they will. First down, Eagles by the nose of the football. Anthony Diacunto doing everything he can, evading pressure in the pocket, stepping up, taking on defenders. A little bit of shake and bake, needed 10, got 10 and a quarter. First down, Eagles. Terry, the dangerous running back, who set up St. Peter's in good field position. In the backfield, they have 2 extra offensive linemen out. It's a swing pass to Baez, who fumbled it. This ball is live, and he gets buried in the backfield. Xavier all over it. Looked like it was 56. James Halpin, the defensive end, getting out there and blowing that screen pass up. Loss of 4. Another one of these defensive captains making big-time plays. Second down and 14 now. As a negative play sends St. Peter's up behind the sticks. 3 receivers all in a bunch formation in the slot. Giaconto to rip it over the middle, deflected at the line of scrimmage. Was that intercepted? Xavier thinks they have it. They do. What a play. It was picked off and intercepted by Ethan Almonte. Batted at the line of scrimmage, up in the air. Big 6'1", 220. Almonte went up there and got it. That is a huge turnover. What a play by the big fella. First down and 10 at midfield after a massive defensive takeaway. Haney in the offense back out there. He'll run left, pick up blockers. Haney still going. First down and more to the 39. Big time pickup. Peter Haney for 11. They just keep doing it. Defense steps up huge again. It's not a 4th down stop. It's not a tackle for loss. It's an interception. Xavier up 15. Can likely start putting nails in the coffin with 30 seconds to play in the 3rd quarter. They'll likely eat a lot of the opening bits of the 4th quarter up on this drive because of their strong run game. They are set up perfectly. If you're St. Peter's, you're looking for a takeaway to stay in this game. It's a direct snap to Stewart, who's still going. Elijah Stewart, another monster carry. Back-to-back pickup of 10+. First down, Xavier again. And that is how this 3rd quarter comes to an end. A touchdown by Heaney, an interception by Almonte. Everything went right for the Knights in that 3rd frame. We'll take a break and step aside. Come right back for the 4th and final quarter. It is 22-7, Knights leading. You're listening to Playoff Football, streaming live on the YouTube channel. Welcome back to Aviator. An energizing 3rd quarter saw a touchdown and a takeaway for Xavier. They're leading on the scoreboard 22-7 with 12 to play and 1 quarter to go. It is win or go home. And right now, St. Peter's going to have to fight and claw their way back into this game. It's a 2nd down and 1 run that goes nowhere for the Knights. Stop shy to set up 3rd down and inches. But, man, that was an energizing way to end that half by Ethan Almonte going up there and getting that batted ball and bring it down. McLaughlin got stopped for no gain. 3rd down and 1. No Heaney right now. It's McLaughlin and Stewart. And it goes to Stewart on the direct snap. Oh, he clawed there on the 2nd effort and got enough. Nice job, Elijah Stewart. Looked like he was going to get tripped up right at the line to gain. But 2nd effort, keeps himself up, and that's enough for a first down. Heaney right back into the contest. Approaching the 11-minute mark. Not sure why the clock is stopped. It shouldn't be. And there it goes. Now it runs again. The first down shift stopped it, but it seemed like that should have been done a little while before. It's McLaughlin and Heaney in the backfield this time at the 28-yard line. Heaney, give, Buono, it's worked all night. Can he get to the outside? Yes, he can. Tyler Buono at the 20, stiff arms a man and gets dragged out of bounds with first down yardage. Inside the 20, down to the 17-yard line. Tyler Buono, Mr. Speed. Knights just keep moving it. 13, a big part of that. Ten and a half to play. Xavier trying to expand on their 15-point lead. One more here might put it to bed and cement their path to the finals. Three touchdowns so far in the day for the offense. All by Peter Heaney. Jump shift left to right. Eagles trying to get a takeaway. Feels like they just need one right now. Heaney running right, has blockers, picks up 2, maybe 3. Inside the 15, spotted near the 13. Actually ended up picking up more like 5 yards on that one. Looked like the initial wave had him gaps closed around 2 yards, but the pile shifted forward a little bit more. So he picks up 5 on that play. Heads back into the huddle to try and man this Xavier unit with 9.5 to play in the game. It's all up to the St. Peter's defense. Their postseason hopes basically right on this possession. Heaney going right. He's got first down yardage down to the 5-yard line. Nice job. Powerful run to the right. The Eagles just can't stop it. That's the simplest way I can put it. The St. Peter's Eagles cannot stop Peter Heaney, and frankly, any component of this run game right now. First down and goal at the 4-yard line. He's got 3 with 2 last week. 5 in the last 5 quarters. Heaney gonna run it right. Heaney, he is in! 4! Make it 4! Peter Heaney, that could cement it! Incredible! He does it again. Set up by the Almonte interception. Xavier goes 50 yards in 5 minutes to extend the lead to 28-7. A chance at 2 more as they line up to tack it on. Single ring to the right. Crowd chanting for them to pour it on. Heaney goes right. He gets tripped up in the end zone, though, for the 2-point conversion. His 4th touchdown, his 3rd 2-point conversion. What can't the guy do? It is 30-7. Xavier is running away with it on a horse here at Aviator. (30-7), and the defense has been just as impressive. It's a 4-touchdown day for Peter Heaney. I know the hat trick. I don't know what's after that, though. We are in uncharted territory. He was an 1,000-yard rusher in the regular season. was the backbone of the Knights' offense. It adds on 4 more touchdowns today. Unbelievable. To extend the lead to 23. Knights have everything working for them. After the Eagles took the 7-0 lead, it is 30 unanswered points for Xavier. 8:40 to play. It becomes St. Peter's versus the clock as Sheridan Vitale puts it away. It's a short kick at the 38. Grabbed there, and diving on it for the Eagles is Daniel Mills. But now at this point, it's St. Peter's versus the clock. How well can they manage it? How quickly can they score? 7 points through 3 quarters, I'll tell you, is not the rate they need to get back into this game. 23, meaning it's a minimum of 3 scores. And that's including 2 two-point conversions. A whole lot of work to be done. Let's see. We already saw one almost miracle comeback last week in the playoff game against Kellenberg. Can the Eagles replicate it? Diacaro going deep. Oh, incomplete. Had his man Victor Baez, who dusted Ryan Levin, but that is incomplete. Baez had 2.5 on Levin, deep down the near sideline, but he got bailed out. I mean, if there is air under that ball from Diacunto and he leads his receiver, that is a one-play touchdown from St. Peter's. No doubt about it. They can't connect, however. Another missed opportunity. That's been the definition of the night. 3 receivers spread out. Everybody moved. The center didn't snap it. Classic false start on everybody but the center, Steven Santiago, just didn't get rid of it to his quarterback. Loss of 5 brings up 2nd down and 15 from the 35. Seemed like everybody thought it was coming out but Santiago, who's responsible for actually starting the play. 2nd down and 15 now. 2 receivers near side, 1 slat right. Diacunto back to pass, perfect protection. Now it begins to break down a little bit. Has a free rusher coming at him. He throws it, is caught right at the 1st down. Nice catch, Josiah Jones. And an even better job, Anthony Diacunto, staying in that pocket. Had 2 bodies flying at him from the secondary. Stands in there and delivers it. A yard short of the 1st down is Jones. 3rd down and 1 at the 48. 100% 4-down territory for the Eagles. The one-on-one to the near side is Capola against Jernstead. Diacunto surveys left. That's where he's going with it. He's got his man. Vincenzo Capola into Xavier territory, enough to move the chains for the 1st down. St. Peter's coaching staff urging them to get up to the ball quickly. Not necessarily spike it, but just keep it moving. Get the snaps off quick. Diacunto, they go no huddle. Has 2 receivers far side. He's back to pass. Gets rid of it quickly. Incomplete. Brian Caulfield had coverage on Benjamin Terry. Incomplete. 2nd down and 10. Tried to work that near sideline. Couldn't get it to work. Incomplete. Ball's coming out quickly, though, those last 2 plays from Diacunto. He stared down the left side. That's where he's gone with it. But now this game is not only them against the clock, it's Xavier's secondary's turn to step up. Can the corners and the safeties keep the plays in front of them, limit the big plays? That's what's going to allow Xavier to stay in complete control of this game. Diacunto rolls right. Fires it up in the air, incomplete! It hit the turf just barely before Ace Jernsted's lunging attempt to get his paws under it. Could not. 3rd down and 10 coming up. It was a good chance. Xavier's defense riling up this crowd. They're going to get loud. 3rd down and 10 at the 48. It was up in the air for a while. Nobody could get under it. 3rd down and 10. The two-way man, Dom Cognata, the student body president, hypes this crowd up from the nose tackle spot. 3rd down and 10. Dan Cotta giving instructions to his favorite, Benjamin Terry. He's been the heart and soul of the Peters offense so far. Extra rusher, it's Metzger flushing out Dan Cotto. He is sacked, forced out of bounds all the way back at the 38. He ran out of room. James Haplin. Huge stop. It's a loss of 13. 4th down and a mile from their own 39. They're looking for the Xavier 38. This is going to need a heave. 4th down and 20-something. Here we go. Xavier drops a lot of backs into coverage. Seb Myers, Elijah Stewart, among those back there. There's a lot at the line trying to protect Dan Cotto. He's got to get rid of it quick. It's a screenplay. Blockers out in front. There goes Terry. He's got 1st down yardage. Still going inside the 25, down to the 22. Beautifully done. Oh my goodness, beautiful play call. The entire Xavier secondary was on the far side of the field. It's a little flip pass to Tyrone Smart. And he takes it 35 yards for the 1st down. 7:05 to play. St. Peter's keeps their season alive with a 1st down. That was wild. Xavier brought 5 up the middle, dropped the rest into coverage. No one accounted for the screen pass. Diacunto was able to get rid of it quick. He's got an empty backfield again. 2 receivers to the right. Now they motion across a 3rd. Diacunto, well protected, going to load up for the end zone. It is incomplete. Looking for Josiah Jones back there. Could not connect. Far left corner of the end zone. Incomplete. 2nd down and 10. Elijah Stewart, the body back there for the Knights. Diacunto just overthrew his intended receiver. 2nd down and 10 at the 22 now. And expect a lot of that. St. Peter's not afraid to shoot for the end zone, test out this Xavier secondary. They need points and they need them fast. Under 7 to play. Clock stops due to the incompletion. 1-on-1 at the top if you want it. It's been like that all night. Jernsted's got the coverage there. Diacunto back to pass. He's looking that way, but instead he is sacked. Oh my goodness, he was able to flip it out before he got tackled to Terry. How'd he do it? Oh my goodness, Ryan Lavin runs him out at the 16. Wizardry. He was wrapped up and all but brought down, flipped it underhand to Benjamin Terry. A very dangerous play. Turns negative yardage into a pickup of 5. 3rd down and 5. But oh man, I could have been 3rd down and 15. Nice job, Anthony Diacunto, getting creative to avoid the negative yardage. 3rd down and 5. It's 4-down territory at the 15-yard line. I believe Halpin was all over Diacunto again. He's back to pass, looking right, 3rd and 5. Does he have it in him? Coming is Metzger. Metzger got him. Tripped him up just by the toes. Could not get away from Brady Metzger, who met him in the backfield. It's a loss of 10 on the play. Timeout, St. Peter's. 4th down and 15 coming up. What a play for the sack. Xavier thought they had the sack on the previous play. They come back with the pressure off the edge and get home that time. First time out of the half for the Eagles, 2 remaining. But with 6:25 to play, another fourth down situation that's life or death. Season on the line here. Let's see if Peters can figure it out. They did last time on 4th and 20. It was a screen pass to Smart that he took for 50. Now let's see if they can get it again. The first down marker's at the 12-yard line. However, the Eagles are pushed all the way back to their own 26. 3rd and 15. It's going to get loud at Aviator with a chance to put a seal on this one. 4th down. Diacunto with Terry in the backfield. He's back to pass. Diacunto surveys, steps up to his own 30, looking for the end zone. He's got a man. It is caught. Vincenzo Coppola keeps the Peters season alive. Nice job, Diacunto. Stepped up in the pocket, extended the play. And it's Vincenzo Coppola to cap off the drive in the end zone. Xavier was looking for an ineligible receiver downfield. Officials don't throw any laundry. That'll make it 30-13. And the Eagles line up to go for 2. Terry is the lone setback. 3 in the bunch to the right. Fake the handoff. Diacunto to pass. Rolls right, getting chased. He gets rid of it to the end zone. It's intercepted by Metzger, and he will take a knee for a touchback. So the try is no good. Score holds at 30-13 with 6:17 to play. In the 4th quarter, it is still a 17-point lead. And no 2-point conversion means it's still a 3-score game. So a missed opportunity for St. Peter's. They needed that to go. Now they need 3 scores in 6:17. Is it onside kick time already? Xavier sends out Dom Cognata, the big offensive and defensive end, at the 50. Part of this new look hands team. It likely has to be onside kick time because it is a 17-point game, which is 3 scores. So you have to imagine the Eagles line up to try and regain possession. Coppola, who just caught the touchdown, is going to tee it up and try and get his team possession back. Xavier puts 9 at the line to try and recover. Coppola tees it up from the 40. It's got to go 10 yards to be able to be recovered. It's a soft one to the left side. I don't think it's going to go 10, and it is touched by St. Peter's. 8 yards into the kick, so that is going to be illegal touching and a flag on the Eagles. So the St. Peter's is going to have to re-kick it, move them back 5 yards. This is not a situation where Xavier can just take over without a re-kick. So 35 is now the kicking spot. Has to make it to the 45. It was not a very powerful kick by Coppola. Ball blows off the tee, so we'll have to reset it. 6 minutes to play, though. Even when you're still probably thinking about St. Peter's having trouble scoring. First, they got to get the onside kick. Xavier trying to recover. Seal it up. Coppola. It's a short one to the right, and it is hauled in by Xavier. First down in plus territory. It was Sal Vitale, the junior, able to haul it in and make sure it stayed in his arms. First and 10, Xavier at the St. Peter's 43-yard line, and now it is all about running out the clock, chewing as much of it as you can. There's 6:15 to play. It's a direct snap to McLaughlin, who takes it up the middle and barrels for 5 to the 38-yard line. Clock winds. Kellenberg has their timeouts. They don't use them yet. Xavier's going to take as much time as they possibly can in between plays here. Just try and milk out this clock. And the Xavier sideline can feel it. They have all but ended this game. Now 5:40 to play. They load it to the right side. The snap goes to Heaney, who takes it to the right. He gets tripped up after a pickup of 2 to the 38-yard line. Pushes himself up. 3rd down and 5, but the most important thing for Xavier is the clock continues to tick. 5:15 now in the game. They'll take it inside the 4-minute mark, at least on this drive. But a first down, take off another 2.5 minutes. And at this point, this game is all but over with 4:55 to play in the 4th quarter. Xavier is a couple runs shy of going to the championship game. Direct snap to McLaughlin, who runs left. He gets tackled there to bring up 4th down. And 4. Offense is initially going to stay out on the field. Interesting. Sheridan Vitale and the punt unit do not come out. 4th down and 5. Lamberg, Averill, and Schechner into the game now. And Xavier's just going to let this thing run out and call a timeout when the play clock goes down and send out the punt unit. So we've crossed the 4-minute mark. And a couple more seconds to milk off this play clock before the delay of game penalty. And now the timeout is called with 3:47 to play. Xavier takes another 3 minutes off the clock, send out the punt unit, and we'll take a break. When we come back, the finish of this game, Xavier on their way to the championship. Fourth down and 5, Xavier's offense comes back out on the field following the timeout, so it's not the punting unit. Maybe you could see a situation here where Heaney lines up and tries to punt this. Likely not, though, because you don't want anything to go wrong. Jump shift right to left. St. Peter is able to stay strong. It's another jump shift. Everybody stands. Heaney going to take it to the right, and he's going to be stopped a yard shy of first down yardage, and a flag is going to come out after the play. It's going to be a personal foul on Daniel Caridi. It was embellished by St. Peter's, but Not something you want to do at the 3:40 mark. The refs are going to call it tight at this point to try and keep this game in check. Make sure nothing comes out of that. So it will be 1st down and 10 for the Eagles, as Heaney's stopped a yard shy, picked up 4 on 4th and 5. Interesting decision to not punt that ball away. Now Xavier's defense will take the field again. And the 15-yard dead ball personal foul against Daniel Caridi is going to be enforced after the play. So it'll set up the Eagles at their own 49-yard line. 3:40 to play. And they need a miracle here. But they're going to try. It's the playoffs and give it their all. Diaconto back to pass. Has pressure in his face. Loads up. He's going for it all. It's incomplete. He had a man open just off the fingertips of Vincenzo Coppola, who already had 1 touchdown, was looking for a 50-yard bomb. Lunging effort, full body layout extension, just incomplete. Missed him by a half a second. That would have made it interesting with 3.5 to play. But instead, St. Peter's comes up empty. I'll tell you what, Coppola just ran right through the Xavier secondary, just on a go route, and he just went. Oh man, Diaconto, certainly the arm to get it there. Just missed on the timing, just missed. 2nd down and 10 now. Interesting that Xavier's still showing 4 at the line of scrimmage. They have been getting pressure on Diaconto. He's back to pass. Surveys over the middle, incomplete. Malachi was all over Baez, who the ball was intended for, but it was 3 feet over his head. No chance at it. 3rd down and 10. Looks like the secondary is going to give some cushion on a 3rd down and 10. Xavier really doesn't even need to play the sticks at this point. Just try to keep it in front of you, not let any big play touchdowns happen like the Eagles had the opportunity to. 3rd down and 10 now. Can St. Peter's make it interesting with a quick touchdown? 3:27 to play. Chilly evening at Aviator. 2 high safeties. Diaconto loads up over the middle, incomplete. He was looking for Coppola, but really the closest man back there was Caulfield, and I think even closer to that ball was Seb Myers, who just went and retrieved it from the soccer net behind the end zone. 4th down and 10. This can really end it. One more stop. If the Eagles can't work this ball past the 41 of Xavier, it's likely season over. 4th down now. 1 receiver lined up on the far side. That's it. 2 in the bunch in the slot. Diaconto back to pass. Has time. Throws over the middle. Incomplete. Was looking for Baez, who couldn't hold on. A turnover on downs, and that will do it. 7 in the first half, 6 in the second half. Xavier's defense, another masterclass to cement the win. Nails are in the coffin, and a couple of nights from this night sideline. 3:17 to play, a couple run plays, and a 1st down will put this one in the books. Heaney goes to the right, picks up a couple blocks, falls forward for 7. Sideline loves the effort, continuing to give it his all, even in the dying wits of this game. even when this game is all but over, Heaney, the captain of the offense, also a track runner at Xavier, told me he loves to dance. Any song is what he told me. Any song. I'm wondering if he can do it to the Sons of Xavier song. 2nd down and 5. Direct snap up the middle. 1st down and more. And there goes McLaughlin. Down to the 20, and he got hit late for a flag to add some yardage onto it. Riley McLaughlin enough for the 1st down. Got hit 2 steps out of bounds. That'll push it half the distance to the goal. And an undisciplined penalty by the Eagles as they are frustrated that their season will be ending tonight. Two minutes and counting in this game. Looks like St. Peter's are content with where they are. They're not going to call their timeouts. And this clock is just going to run out. Inside the 150 mark of this game. And with the lead, they'll run out the clock as much as they can on the play clock. And then snap up the middle to McLaughlin, who picks up 2. Clock winds, more importantly, inside 130. And now at this point, a couple of kneel downs will end it. 30-13 will be the final score. A dominant win for a dominant second half for Xavier. They came out and they scored on every possession but one. Didn't punt all day, or but 2, excuse me. One that ended the first half where they couldn't score. One they turned it over on 4th down. But other than that, it was Peter Heaney leading the charge. 4 touchdowns, 3 2-point conversions. 50 seconds left now. Couple of kneel downs will end this game and send St. Peter's home. It was a great year for them. They played extremely well in the regular season. 4-2 in league. But that is going to do it. The Knights win. You can stab a W in the win column. 30-13, and they're moving on to the championship game. Xavier wins. They are moving on to the CHSFL championship game on the backs of their quarterback, Peter Heaney. The Knights end the season for St. Peter's and come out victorious. A 17-point win cements it. I'm Josh Wolliver on behalf of the entire Xavier football program saying have a great night, everybody. Stay safe. Knights are headed to the championship game. Have a great night, everybody. You were listening to Xavier Knights football live on the YouTube channel.